Hi people, welcome to the Cowbridge kitchen. We're here exclusively to show you guys how to cook like a pro. Okay, going to show you some tips, going to show you some tricks and a few little nifty workarounds so that you get it right first time, every time. Hello again. Okay, roast potatoes. Who doesn't love a good roast potato? Staple part of the British diet and an integral part of any Sunday lunch. So how do you make roast potatoes and how do you make them properly? Okay, there's lots of ways, lots of techniques and lots of twists on what I'm going to do today, but I'm going to show you a foolproof, effective way to make perfect roast potatoes every time. Some spuds, going to get these peeled. Okay, to start with, what we're going to do is put our potatoes straight into a pan of water. So we've got a pan of water here, okay, it's about 3/4 full. Get that on the stove. What I'm going to do is going to get some salt in the water. There we go. Don't be shy with the salt, get some in there, okay? Adds lots of nice flavour to your potatoes. Right, okay, so we're going to get that water on now, a low heat, okay, nice and low, just to get that sort of off cold. And then we shall peel our spuds. Okay, so when peeling the spuds, basically, you can have all different sizes, obviously. I'm going to use a technique to peel spuds, which I find quite quick. If you're making a fondant potato, you probably peel them like this. So we just cut the ends off them, like so, and then trim them. Right the way around, taking the skins off. I mean, I'm not overly fussy about how much I take off, but I'm going to take enough off, hopefully, to get that potato nicely peeled, okay? It's a medium-sized potato, so I'll cut them in half, cut them at a funny angle, there you go. And these then can go straight into your pan of water. Okay, if you're going to use a small potato, so if you've got a small one, leave the smaller ones whole. Same technique again. Obviously, this potato is going to wind up a lot smaller once I've peeled it than the other one did. So, as we've got a rather small potato there, leave him whole and go straight in the pan. Don't fuss around with them. So, the technique is, your potato's large, cut them in half. If it's a smallish to medium-sized potato, leave it whole. So peel the rest of these spuds now, and then we'll get them cooked, and we'll give you some cooking times. Okay, so all the potatoes are now peeled and they are in our pan. Okay, there they are, sort of simmering away. We're going to leave them to boil for about 5 minutes, just until the knife will sort of go in them without too much of an effort. We don't want to overcook them, we just want to part cook them, and once they're done then we can get them dried off, ready to go in the oven. Okay, while those potatoes are cooking on the stove, what we're going to do is get ourselves a baking tray. Okay, got a baking tray here, bit of tin foil in there. Into the baking tray, we're going to put a generous amount of olive oil. Okay, a nice generous splash. The other thing that's going to go into the baking tray is going to be a large chunk of butter. So we need a nice piece of butter, probably about that size, okay, into that baking tray. And then we've got some sage. Okay, you can use fresh sage if you like. Basically all I'm trying to do is make up a bit of a sage butter. Okay, so a good sprinkling of sage into that baking tray. So there we are, we've got that. Okay, I'll just hold on to that butter to show you our mix. Basically, once those potatoes are cooked, I'm going to throw that into the oven to melt. Okay, so with a serving spoon, we take the old lid off the spuds. Just pull a spud out, try and get a biggish one, the bigger one, one of the bigger ones, okay, so we can get a more accurate reading, because pretty much if this is down where you want it, then the smaller ones are going to be there as well, okay. Get a knife in, knife just goes in there, and that potato is pretty much done from this point. You can give it a few more minutes if you like, but as long as that knife starts to sink in there, we're done. Okay, so what we're going to do now, I'm going to get these potatoes over to the sink. Okay, so watch, this water's quite hot. I've already got a colander in the sink. I'm going to tip these potatoes in the water straight into the colander, okay? And the colander's all part of my plan for the potatoes. So at this stage, you need to treat these potatoes rough. Watch all the steam burn your face off. Treat them rough, okay? We're not looking to be gentle with them, and to be honest with you, the potato is going to come out a much better potato on the other side. What you don't want to do with these as well, okay, is you do not want to overcook them. Undercook them rather than overcook them, okay? So we'll show you the potatoes, what they're looking like now in the colander. All the water's drained off. We need now just to dry them and fluff them up, which I'll show you that technique. Okay, so there's the potatoes in the sink, in the colander. Like I said, treat them a bit rough, don't be too gentle with them, bash them up. As you can see, what they're going to do now in that colander is they're going to fluff a little bit, so you'll chip all the ends off, then they're drying out nicely and they're fluffing up. Okay, you can keep giving them a little bit of a shake in that colander, like that. The more you shake them, the more they're going to fluff up. So don't be scared, get them at this stage now, wherever you want them, okay? But like I said, treat them mean. Okay, leave them in there now to dry for a few minutes, and we'll go and stick the butter that we made earlier into the oven. Okay, so the oven's all heated now. Our butter mix that we made earlier, our sage butter with a little bit of oil in there. Get that in the oven now while those potatoes are drying off, okay? So that can go in there, and that'll take a few minutes probably to melt. Okay, we're going to put our potatoes now as well. Stick them on top of your saucepan and just let them sit there now and dry out. Okay, so the final stage, our potatoes. We've got our potatoes now all lovely and dry in our pan and battered up. Okay, so we're going to tip them back into the pan now. While they're sitting in there now, we'll grab our sage butter out of the oven. Whoa, yeah. What a beautiful smell. Oh yeah, you can smell the sage. You know, that already smells like, it smells like Christmas, to be honest with you. That sage butter smells beautiful. Okay, it's all melted. Okay, be a bit careful, obviously it's boiling hot. What we're going to do now is get this sage butter into the pan with the potatoes, okay? Tip it in. There we are. So once that's in the pan with the potatoes, we need the potato lid, again, on there. Don't be too scared about it. Give them a bit of a shake, like I said before, treat them rough. Okay, mash them up a little tiny bit more. There we are. And then what we've got in there are some bashed up potatoes, all lovely covered in sage butter and oil. Get them all nicely back in the pan. There we go. And then this pan, or this roasting tin rather, of beautiful, beautiful looking mashed up potatoes. Look at them. They're going to go in the oven now, 180 to 200 for hour and a half, maybe 45 minutes, somewhere around that. You're going to need to use your head on that. Don't be scared to open them. Take a little look at them. We'll leave them cook and we'll pull them out and take a look. Right, our potatoes have been cooking for approximately 45 minutes now. I'm going to take them out of the oven and we're going to just turn them over. Okay, we're going to take a little look at them. There we are. Look at them cooking away in there. Use a spoon, whatever. Obviously, goes without saying, these are hotter than the sun. So we need to turn them over and get them all sort of coated into the fat, okay? And again, as before, treat them rough, okay? You don't want to be too gentle with them. Play around with them, twist them so they're all coated into the fat, okay? Once they're coated in the fat, we're going to pop them back in the oven to give them a last sort of 20 minutes probably of cooking time. Right, these potatoes are going to be done. We've had them in the oven now for another 20 minutes or so. I'm going to pull them out and take a little look. Oh, got me right in the face, there we are. Okay, always watch the oven, it's going to get you. Wow, okay, we've got our potatoes out. We can pop them on there. Take a little look at those potatoes. They are looking pretty delicious. Let's take a look. Okay, so look at this. Here we are, a nice close-up view of that spud. They just don't get any better than that. Nice fluffy crispy bits on there. Looking really good. They fall apart. Fantastic. Okay, so there's your potatoes. All done and ready to serve. Enjoy. Okay, so our roast potatoes in a bowl, finished product. Just take a look at them. Beautiful roasties. Perfect every time. Okay, and a final confirmation of how delicious these are. Look at that. I tell you what, can't go wrong.